All right, welcome to what I like to call the Tao Salon of statistics, the place where we gently untangle those tricky knots in our data thinking. And today we are tackling a classic, correlation versus regression. They look the same, they sound the same, and they often hang out together. But trust me, they do totally different jobs. Let's get into it.
So here's the game plan. First, we're going to get to know correlation. Then we'll level up to regression. After that, we'll see them go head-to-head with a really clear example, and we'll wrap it all up with 3 big ideas that you can actually use. You know, this whole explainer was actually inspired by a fantastic, super practical question I saw over on Reddit. When do you actually use one of these instead of the other? And, the answer really boils down to one simple thing. What is it you're trying to do with your data? Okay, first up, correlation. Think of this as your first date with the data. It's that quick, initial look to see if there's any chemistry, if two things even seem to move together at all. So, what's correlation's job? It's super simple, actually. It gives you one single number, and that number tells you 2 things. How strong is the relationship, and what's the direction? Basically, as one thing goes up, does the other thing go up too, or does it go down? It's all about sizing up that basic, straight-line connection. Now, here's something really important about correlation. The relationship is a two-way street. It really doesn't matter which variable you call X and which one you call Y. The correlation between ice cream sales and hot weather, it's the exact same as the correlation between hot weather and ice cream sales. It just doesn't care which one you list first. And this right here brings us to the golden rule. If you remember one thing from this, let it be this. You've heard it a million times, but it's true. Correlation does not imply causation. Just because 2 things are dancing together doesn't mean one is leading the other. It's just a hint, a clue that something's going on, but it is definitely not the whole story. So, if correlation is just the hint, regression is where we start playing detective. It's the tool you grab when you want to go beyond just saying, hey, these things are connected, and actually start making some predictions. Let's see how that works. With regression, the whole goal is different. We're not just looking, we're building. We're trying to build a model. We want to predict an outcome. We call that the dependent variable, using one or more other factors, which are our independent variables. It's like we're drawing the smartest possible line through all our data to guess what might happen next. And boom, right away we see a huge difference from correlation. With regression, the variables are absolutely not interchangeable. Predicting house prices from the number of bathrooms is a completely different model than trying to predict the number of bathrooms from the house price. The direction you ask the question in changes everything. And regression just unlocks so much more. I mean, you can build models to forecast the future. You can put an exact number on the impact of each little thing. You can check if your findings are actually real or just a fluke. That's statistical significance. And this is the real superpower. You can isolate the effect of one variable while basically telling all the others to just hold still for a second. All right, enough theory. Let's make this super, super clear with a practical example that everybody gets, buying a house. So let's just put it all on the table, side by side. Your goal? If it's just assessing an association, you use correlation. If you need to predict an outcome, you use regression. The variables? In correlation, you can swap them, no problem. In regression, nope. They have fixed roles, dependent and independent. And finally, the output? Correlation gives you one single number, while regression gives you a whole predictive equation, a little machine you can actually use. Okay, back to our house example. A correlation analysis would look at all the data and just say, yep, looks like houses with more bathrooms tend to cost more. That's it, a simple, direct observation about the relationship. But that's not really enough, is it? I mean, that statement immediately makes you ask the real question, the money question. Okay, but how much more? And that's where regression comes to the rescue. Its whole job is to find that specific number. It's designed to quantify what's called the marginal impact, basically the exact contribution that each additional bathroom makes to the final price. And regression crunches the numbers and it might give us an answer just like this, $20,000. But here's the really cool part. That number isn't just a simple average. Regression can tell us that adding one bathroom adds on average $20,000 to a home's value, even after we account for other key factors like square footage or the neighborhood it's in. It isolates that specific impact. Now that is powerful. I saw this great analogy for this on that Reddit thread.
It said correlation is to regression as a combustion engine is to a car. And that is just perfect, isn't it? The correlation is the engine. It's the vital part that shows a relationship exists. But regression is the whole car. It takes that engine and builds a functional system around it that can actually take you somewhere, letting you make predictions and drive decisions.
So, let's bring this all home. How do you actually use this stuff in the real world? Whether you're in business or marketing or research, I want to leave you with 3 big ideas to keep in your back pocket.
Okay, first big idea. Always start with your goal. Ask yourself, am I just exploring? Am I just curious if two things are related? Cool, use correlation. Or do I need to predict something specific? Then you've got to use regression. It's that simple. Second, the causation rule never ever goes away. Even with a fancy regression model, you're estimating impact, you're not proving direct cause and effect. Always remember that. And number 3, quantify the impact. This is huge for business. The second you need to answer how much, or you need to calculate an ROI, that is always a job for regression.
So the next time you're staring at a spreadsheet full of data, ask yourself this simple question. Am I just looking for a relationship, or am I trying to build a predictive engine? Am I just admiring the engine, or am I building the car? Knowing the answer to that will tell you exactly which tool you need to pick up.